For a limited time from right now until the launch of the Edge of Fate, you can earn the exclusive Pixel Perfect emblem in-game by coming to my live stream at twitch.tv/Mactics and gifting 1 sub. I'll be live right after you're done watching, so I'll see you over there after you're done enjoying the video. Welcome back to another episode of Will It Build. In this episode, we're doing the typical emblem giveaway. You already know it. One of the emblem codes is going to be hidden in the video, so just keep your eyes peeled and try and find it. We are going to give away a second emblem as well to a lucky viewer who comments something nice down below, likes the video, and is subscribed to the YouTube channel. Now for this one, I am extremely excited about it, not only because it is a very non-traditional build that the submitter claims is extremely powerful, but we are also going to test it in a very unusual and spicy way. So first things first, let's get to the build. This bad boy is submitted by Raiden, and it is called the only Behemoth Titan build you will ever need. They say, ever feel like there aren't that many good Stasis Titan builds? Yeah, I do feel that way. I honestly feel like Stasis Titan in PvE usually sucks. Well, they say, here you have the only one you will ever need. This build is entirely focused about freezing and creating stasis crystals and shattering them. They've been using this build for a while now in end game content, and it's actually really great, even though stasis isn't meta right now. So let's hop right into the build. First things first, let's check out the exotic armor piece. We've got the Icefall Mantle, which has gone over a lot of changes in its lifetime. At the current moment, it has Glacial Guard, where while you have a stasis super equipped, rapid stasis final blows are going to grant you frost armor, which is obviously a stacking damage resistance buff. You heal a small amount whenever you gain frost armor as well, which is particularly exciting considering all of the sources that we are going to have for frost armor acquisition. This is also going to replace our class ability with a burst of stasis energy that freezes nearby combatants, slows nearby opponents, and grants us increased frost armor. So basically, whenever we use our class ability, we get damage resistance, and it's going to heal us because of the ancillary effects of Icefall Mantle. Now, the numbers on this stuff specifically, I am very curious about. Let's look at Frost Armor specifically, which grants us 6.25% damage resistance per stack, up to 31.25% damage resistance at 5 stacks for 9 seconds, which it's worth noting, that's actually a little bit more than tier 10 resilience. Tier 10 resilience gives you 30% damage resistance. So obviously we're already running tier 10 resilience with this build. So we're basically like tier 10 resilience times 2 with this build, if that makes sense. And then if we come over here to the exotic armors, I really want to look specifically at Icefall Mantle. We are going to restore 10 HP per stack of frost armor gain. So if we get like 5 stacks of frost armor, for example, that's going to immediately fill up a quarter of our HP right out of the gate. Upon scoring 2 stasis kills within 3 seconds of each other, that's pretty simple. That's like really not that demanding, especially considering that it can be any source of stasis kills. So it can be shatter damage, it can be like our stasis grenades, it can be our stasis melees, and it can even be like stasis primary ammo weapons, which is something that we're incorporating in this build. Double kill with the stasis primary ammo weapon gives us a stack of frost armor. There's a 10 HP heal. We get the damage resistance from frost armor, which is absolutely awesome. And it's going to replace our barricade with that class ability burst that is going to slow nearby enemies. When we cast it, it gives us maximum frost armor stacks, which is actually kind of crazy, which gives us, if we do not have Whisper of Rhyme equipped, immediately. So anytime we cast our class ability, boom, 5x frost armor, bonus 31% damage resistance, and a 50 HP heal. Or if we have Whisper of Rhyme equipped, which increases our maximum capacity of frost armor, it'll actually give us immediately 8x frost armor stacks, which would be 50% bonus damage resistance, and immediately an 80 HP heal, which is like almost half of our HP bar. And I'm assuming that we're going to build craft this in a way where we get our class ability on cooldown like pretty frequently, so we can kind of like spam this to constantly be healing with our class ability and constantly be refreshing our 50% damage resistance buff. And let's journey on over to our subclass to see what they have set up for us. Obviously, Glacial Quake as our super. We're going with Rally Barricade because it obviously has a lower base cooldown compared to that of Towering Barricade. Towering Barricade minute 10 base cooldown, Rally Barricade a little bit less than 40 seconds as a base cooldown, which with tier 10 resilience, if I'm not mistaken, I think this has a cooldown of like 18 seconds, which means every 18 seconds we get to pop our class ability for maximum frost armor stacks and a 50 to 80 HP heal. Obviously our melee, only one option. We actually might potentially have more stasis melee options coming in the future. I did an interview with game director Tyson Green when I went out to Bungie. You can check that out. I'll link that in the description. He kind of talked about what the plans are for upcoming additional darkness melees and supers for Stasis and Strand. But right now we just have Shiver Strike, but this doesn't really matter that much, to be completely honest, because we're not actually using the Shiver Strike melee itself. We're using our melee energy for something else. And that something else is going to be one of our stasis aspects, Howl of the Storm, where while sliding, we can activate our charge melee ability to launch a wave of stasis energy forward that freezes targets and creates a bunch of stasis crystals. Those stasis crystals are going to be important in a second, but before we talk about them, let's talk about our grenade in the Glacier Grenade, a grenade wall that creates a ton of stasis crystals, obviously. Basically, the idea with this build is going to be make as many stasis crystals as humanly possible so that we can break them to get some of the benefits from our stasis fragments, and so that we can break them for something like Tectonic Harvest, where shattering a stasis crystal or a frozen target creates a stasis shard, and whenever we pick up that stasis shard, we get melee energy. I'm confused. Wait, chat, am I reading this right? This shard grants melee energy when picked up by you or your allies. As in, like, if our allies pick up our stasis shards, they get melee energy, or if our allies pick up our stasis shards, then we get the melee energy. Like, can other people pick up stasis shards for us and we get melee energy? That's worded really oddly. There's no way that's a thing, right? Special thanks to today's sponsor, Gate to Adventure, a marketplace for digital goods where you can safely save some money while shopping for your favorite games. Now, I know you're thinking that might sound too good to be true, but it really is that simple. Just head to my link in the description down below, search up a game you're looking to take a crack at, find a reputable and positively rated seller with a code for said game, and that's it. You're off. Over 1 million keys are safely sold through Gate to Adventure every month. It's basically like Amazon, but for all of your favorite games. And every seller is vetted through a 48-point verification process to ensure that you will always get a timely delivery and legally and ethically acquired codes. So hurry up and click that link down in the description and go pick up a game that you've been dying to try. Thanks, Gate to Adventure. Now let's get back to the video. Okay, hold up. So I'm going to use this. I'm going to break a couple of the crystals to make some shards. And then he'll pick up the shards. Go ahead. Pick him up. Do you pick him up? Okay. Yeah, okay. So him picking them up probably gives him melee energy, which is nice. You know, you're helping out the whole team. And what's cool is him picking them up doesn't make them disappear for me, which I like a lot. Something really cool to note here, using our melee and then shooting the crystals that we made from our melee and then picking up the stasis shards that were generated from those crystals literally immediately gave us half of our melee ability back. So I can basically go hit the melee, break a couple of these shards right here. Yep. Come on. Pick all those suckers up, and then I can, like, throw my wall, make a bunch more shards. Oh, why did I not make shards? Wait a minute, hold on. Tectonic Harvest cooldown. Oh, I see. There it is. It seems like if you break, like, 5 to 6 shards in a short period of time, then you get Tectonic Harvest cooldown, and then you can just let him sing. So I'm good now, good now. Boom, there it is right there. So if you break like 5 or 6 within a short period of time, then you get Tectonic Harvest cooldown, then you chill out for a little bit, and then once it goes away, you can like break another 5. Also, another pretty crazy thing right here to look at. While Tectonic Harvest is equipped, picking up stasis shards grants stacks of frost armor, which means basically anytime you pick up a stasis shard, you're also getting a heal thanks to the Icefall Mantle. So this build basically is just like stasis ability spam, stasis crystal shatter spam, and frost armor and healing spam. If we come down here to our fragments as well, we've got the Whisper of Chains, where defeating targets while you have frost armor has a chance to create a stasis shard. Is that included with the Tectonic Harvest cooldown situation? So like if I hit this right here, let me get Tectonic Harvest cooldown. Boom, right there. Now, can I still create a shard? Or no, because Tectonic Harvest cooldown is going to stop. There's a shard right there. That's actually really cool because it means we can still create stasis shards even if our Tectonic Harvest cooldown is active. We just can't create them from shattering stasis crystals. We create them from killing enemies. Our next fragment is the Whisper of Refraction, where defeating slowed or frozen targets grants you class ability energy, which makes perfect sense considering that we want to be spamming our class ability for our Icefall Mantle, so we can immediately slow everything nearby and get max stacks of frost armor and get that big heal. Next, we have the Whisper of Shards, where shattering a stasis crystal temporarily boosts your grenade recharge rate. Shattering additional stasis crystals increases the duration of the benefit. That's going to allow us to basically spam our grenade, which has so much internal synergy with our build, gives us stasis shards, which synergizes with Tectonic Harvest, which gives us our melee, so we can create more crystals, so we can destroy them, so we can make more grenades, so we can throw more crystals. Like, It's going to be ability spam city over here. Finally, we've got the Whisper of Fissures, which increases the damage and size of the burst of stasis when you destroy a stasis crystal or defeat a frozen target. Shattering enemies or destroying crystals deals an additional damage instance, dealing up to 25 damage and a 10-meter radius. Those numbers are very arbitrary. An additional damage instance. I wish we were in the Edge of Fate already so that we could go to the firing range and try and figure out exactly how much bonus damage we are getting from fissures, but not there quite yet. I am also a little curious that they're not incorporating the Whisper of Rhyme anywhere into here, but to be completely honest, I don't really blame them because all 4 of these seem very, very good and very synergistic for this build. And it's entirely possible that the Whisper of Rhyme is completely unnecessary and that you don't really need to get to 8x Frost Armor because you already have so much damage resistance and healing from all of the other components of this build. So maybe Rhyme would just be a little bit more overkill and they decided to invest more into the ability regeneration and offensive nature of this setup. Another thing that I would be curious to potentially take, what's the one where your stasis primary ammo weapons deal increased damage to stasis shards and frozen targets? Right here, Whisper of Rending. I'm wondering if the Whisper of Rending could actually be somewhat decent because as we were seeing, this hand cannon was taking 2 shots to destroy a stasis crystal. And with Whisper of Rending, it only takes 1 shot. Now, how much does that actually matter in realistic gameplay? Maybe not that much, because, like, I mean, I can honestly always just pull out the rocket sidearm and use the rocket sidearm to one-tap all the stasis crystals, so it's probably not that big of a deal. Anyway, let's take a look at the rest of the build. As far as weapon setup goes, they highly recommended a stasis weapon, which makes perfect sense. It synergizes with our build nicely. I'm rocking and rolling with the shiny version of the Judgment, which was rehashed for the Rite of the Nine event. Mine specifically is Demolitionist, which I think is going to be a spectacular perk for this because it will allow me to throw even more grenades, create more stasis crystals, which I love that. It's also got Precision Instrument on it. In a perfect world, I would love to have something like Demolitionist and Rhyme Stealer. Actually, you know what? To be completely honest, Rhyme Stealer upon shattering a crystal or killing a frozen enemy grants a stack of frost armor. I actually don't know if Rhyme Stealer would be that good because we already have so many ways to get stacks of frost armor and to refresh our stacks of frost armor that I feel like this would be a little bit overkill. With Icefall Mantle on, literally all we have to do, 1 button, hit that, bang, we're at max frost armor. And literally anytime we want to refresh our frost armor, all we have to do is pick up a stasis shard. If you don't have like a Judgment with a particularly good roll, you can get Tactical Mag, Headstone, Demolitionist, and since you can craft it, you can enhance all of those traits as well. You could go Demolitionist Paracausal Affinity on this bad boy to basically have a permanent 20% DPS bonus on it, or you could go Demolitionist Adrenaline Junkie so that when you get a grenade final blow, you get 33.3% increased damage on this weapon. And here's why that's actually really cool and really good with a gun like this. And I'm going to demonstrate this through our armor mods. So take a peek at this. We have Firepower on at the current moment where our grenade final blows create orbs of power. Now you might be thinking, wait a minute, Mac, but our grenade doesn't actually deal damage. It just makes crystals. And then when we shatter the stasis crystals, the shatter damage of those stasis crystals deals damage. If I throw a grenade, makes crystals, and then I shoot one of the crystals and the shatter damage kills the enemy, it makes an orb of power. And that's through firepower, because technically the shatter damage from the stasis crystals that are spawned from my grenade count as grenade damage, which means Adrenaline Junkie would not be that difficult to proc. Now, as far as our other armor mods go, they have recommended a Harmonic Siphon, which makes perfect sense, and Ashes to Assets, bonus super energy on grenade kills, which as we just demonstrated is not that difficult to pull off, and a Heavy Ammo Finder. On our gloves, we've got Firepower, Orb of Power creation on grenade final blows, a Harmonic Loader for our stasis weapon, and a Bolstering Detonation so that we get class ability energy when we cause damage with a grenade, again from shattering the stasis crystals made from our grenade. On our chest piece, nice and easy, just going with some resistances. On our boots, we've got a Recuperation, so we get health every time we pick up an Orb of Power, Innervation, so that we get grenade cooldown when we pick up an Orb of Power, and Stasis Weapon Surge, so we have bonus damage to our stasis weapons whenever we are armor charged. And then finally on our class item, Reaper, nice and easy, nice and simple. Actually, hold up, I want to test Reaper just to make sure this does indeed work, because Ascension does not proc Reaper, so I want to make sure that because Icefall Mantle transforms our class ability, does this also proc Reaper? And it does, it seems. So that's good. So we got Reaper, Powerful Attraction, and Proximity Ward, where we get a powerful overshield while performing our finisher. To be honest, I might consider swapping this out for a bomber or something. Actually, no. We have plenty of grenade and melee regeneration. That wouldn't be necessary. And then the final thing that I've yet to mention, our heavy weapon, the Salvation's Grip, which is actually not a meme weapon anymore. This is actually kind of cool. And don't worry if you don't have the Catalyst on it. Literally, the Catalyst just gives it Rhyme Stealer, which, as we discussed before, is not that important for this build because of all the other ways that you have to get Frost Armor. It's nice. nice, don't get me wrong, but it's not a requirement if you don't have it. What's really cool about this is that this actually functions like a typical grenade launcher nowadays, and it will make stasis crystals only if you hold to fire. So if I hold it down, you get this little blue circle right here. If I hold it down, then it makes crystals, and then boom, now I have an easy way to create stasis shards, which gives me melee energy back. I have an easy way to create stasis shards, which allows me to break them to get my grenade back quickly. And then picking up these stasis shards obviously gives me frost armor and heals me through Icefall Mantle. And then alternatively, if I just want to use it as a straight up grenade launcher, I just do the tap fire, and then it functions exactly like a typical grenade launcher. It doesn't make the crystals or anything like that. So I can actually do damage with this gun if I want to. So we're going to hop into the Grandmaster Sunless Cell Strike and put this bad boy to the test to answer that question. Will it build? Okay, so I'm thinking the idea is that we kind of like throw down our crystal, pop our mantle. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. All I know is that I'm just kind of like running around, freezing everything and shattering everything. Stop that. Stop that. Stop that. Yeah, because we're making so many stasis shards, which is just constantly giving us our melee back. Oh, I have the wrong melee binds on. Oh, get absolutely ran. Wait, we can literally just run up to an enemy and pop our Icefall. Wait, so Icefall Mantle, when you cast it next to an enemy, it doesn't slow them. Or if it does slow them, it applies 100 stacks of slow, which freezes them. Let me just, let me pull up, hit one of these. Oh my god. Oh, defensive wall. Hit the Icefall. Oh my, you heal like a crazy amount with the Icefall, actually, low-key. And then I'm actually going to use the basic version of my melee for mobility. And then we're going to kind of reposition. And then I'm out of all my abilities, so I'll pull up my Salvation's Grit, and I'll make a bunch of crystals, so that I can break the crystals and proc my fragments and get all my abilities back. Because I break them, that procs shards, which gives me my grenade, and it'll make the stasis shards to give me my melee. And then I can continue running my loops. Ah! No! Wait. No, please. Please. Not like this. No.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Is that the ogre? I think that was the ogre. It's okay, I got this. Oh, I do not have this. Wait, JK, I have this. I maybe have this. I do not yet know if I have this. I literally just need... Hit that. No! It turns out I did not indeed have it. But let the record show, my teammates died first, so. Before we hop back in, one slight tweak. I do want to drop the Innervation just to pick up a 1-cost Harmonic Scavenger so that I can have way more Salvation's Grit. I feel like Judgment doesn't break them crystals fast enough. Yeah, I am inclined to agree. As cool as the hand cannon does look, what are my other options here? I do have Fair Judgment as opposed to Judgment. The 2-round burst hand cannon. What could we do on something like this? Could do like Headstone Demo. Do I even have that craftable, man? Hand cannons. Oh, dude, Dado's gonna kill me. I'm not saying this is gonna be better, and I honestly don't even know if it'll be better by the time we're done with the run. If I do drop fissures, do I want Rhyme or do I want Rending? Primary ammo weapons. This will be enough for my hand cannon to one-shot my crystals instead of 2-shot them, but Rhyme will get me to 50% DR and an 80 HP heal. I kind of want to try Rhyme. Every time I cast my class ability, boom, 50% bonus DR, 80 HP heal. I just want to see. I just want to see how it feels. Get frozen. Get Rhyme Stealered. Rhyme Stealered? No, Icefall Mantle. Oh, he's getting messed up. Okay. I'm doing much better damage to him with that super than I did in the last round. Oh, wait, hold up. Let me get deep. Bang! Bang! Okay, I'm getting the hang of it. The first run, I was playing like a bum, dude. Now I kind of get how it works. I think this build gets even better in the Edge of Fate as well, because some of the new weapons are stasis primary ammo weapons that might be able to outperform these guns that we currently have. I don't know for sure if they will be able to, so make sure you get the current guns just to be safe, but might be able to do some pretty crazy stuff. All right, I'm gonna... Oh, no! That sucks, man. I tried to throw the stasis wall in front of me so that I could like block off myself from the Shrieker, but I accidentally like did it too close to me. So one of the crystals went under me and it shoved me. I basically just gave the Shrieker a little skeet shooting opportunity. All right, let's pop this so we get our big heal and our 50% damage resistance. I really like how this feels with Rhyme. I know it's definitely like, it's definitely less damage without fissures, but the survivability with Rhyme feels crazy. All right, let's get the super. Let's get some solid damage on this guy. I know the thing with like Glacial Quake is you want to be like a very certain distance away, right, from the enemies, because of the way that it's like a cone shape. You want to kind of do it in a way so that like the enemy is far enough away so that like the maximum number of your crystals hits. What's up, guys? Nope. Nope. Uh-oh. Nope. Wait, when you're in super, you can just walk through the crystal? Wait, when you're in wait, you can just Chad walk through them. Wait, ready? No Jedi has ever seen this move before. Check this out. Ready? Oh, 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 yeah, you just lost. Idiot. Don't like that noise. Oh, wait, hold up. I got this. Wow. This is, I'm not even kidding. This is just a meme build. Oh, I need my abilities back, so I'll start throwing out some crystals. Give me my grenade and my melee. And then I can, yep. Okay. I didn't even have to use my super there. What the? Did his ground slam damage me from that far? That's crazy. It's actually, dude, how is that ground slam? That's actually the most insane ground slam range I've ever seen in my life. Okay, here come more ads. So I'm gonna wall that door. And I'm gonna do that to that door. And then I'm gonna do it again. And then I'm gonna do it again. And then I'm gonna do it again. And then I'll do it again. Stop. I think it's actually better DPS to spam the crystal gen and let the crystals shatter than it is to like actually do the shots on the boss. Yeah, that was kind of a cakewalk. Well, like, the first run, literally, we just died because I had literally no idea how to use the build. And then I kind of figured it out in run 2, and it made the run actually kind of a joke. Kind of cooked. I mean, listen, not to brag, but I kind of blew my teammates out of the water in the kill department. I'm just saying. Second place, a measly 156. Meanwhile, I'm up here, head and shoulders above with a whopping 158. I mean, have you ever seen so many kills in a run? Yeah, honestly, I don't know how I feel about the change to Rhyme. My problem is that, like, I just don't know exactly what the percentage damage increase overall that we're getting from fissures is. But, like, generally speaking, if you want to go more damage, go fissures. If you want to go more survivability, go Rhyme. I think is pretty much the safe bet. I would definitely hang on to shards because it's what lets you spam your grenade. I would definitely hang on to refraction because it's what lets you spam Icefall Mantle. And I would definitely hang on to chains because it allows you to generate a lot more stasis shards, which allows you to spam your melee. So like these three are for ability spam, and then this one is like your flex slot. Ultimately, will it build? Absolutely, yes. Not only was that like probably one of the most fun builds that I've ever used, but it's like actually legitimately very good and very powerful in terms of like the stasis crystal spam, the shatter spam. And once you kind of like figure out the vibes and like figure out the rotation and figure out the feel of it, it actually performs exceptionally well. If you have a build that you think is absolutely exceptional in Destiny 2 that you want to show to the whole world, be sure to submit it in the Will It Build channel in our Discord server, linked in the description below. If you enjoyed this one, make sure to like and subscribe so you can catch the next episode. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, have a great day.